I'm Kevin McCullum, and I am one of the producers of Six on Broadway and through North America.
Andy Barnes, one of the original London producers, along with Penny Wax, George Stiles and Wendy Barnes.
What happened? Tell me all about it.
Well, I guess for a show called Six to get 8 Tony nominations was pretty spectacular.
Very
off-brand. I think we got to, what can we do?
What can you do? We'll take it.
But also, on top of that, this is a show that began in London, and I saw it there, and Andy and his producing team allowed me to collaborate to bring it here. And we're here to celebrate also this whole Let's Do London campaign about the collaboration between London and New York City, two of the most vibrant cultural cities in the world, sharing not only tourism, but also their culture.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful collaboration and actually a perfect moment in time to have this celebration about a British story or a historic story told in a musical that's in both territories and across the world, resonating with audiences everywhere. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
When I first saw the show, I realized in sort of the American school system, we don't learn necessarily about the history of the Tudor women. And although you see it on television occasionally in some programming, but in your country you're sort of steeped in it, and so it makes sense that this show started there, and yet because it's about finding your voice against all odds, at this time in the world, this show coming here has not only reverberations just in the theater, but so many young people and older people are now reading much more about that time in the history and finding the parallels between then and now.
Yeah, it's absolutely a show that when you come out you go, I want to know more about that. Well, is that true? And you sort of start checking out the facts and you realise, this is all factually accurate, and that's quite eye-opening.
And yet in a contemporary language.
In a very contemporary language, yeah.
So the authors and the director of the show are just young people who really got it. Toby and Lucy and Jamie, and it's just, they've just really, really captured sort of what we need to hear to remind ourselves that history goes through challenging and difficult times, but if you push through it with grace and gratitude and humor, tomorrow's a better day.
I had that nervous feeling all morning before the nominations came out, knowing that you have a show that people are enjoying, but not knowing whether or not your industry peers are going to see it in the same way. And it's wonderful recognition from them, but the most important thing I think we would all agree is what it says as a show, and the fact that now more people will hopefully hear about it because of the nominations. That's the joy, is that people are going to come and see it because of what they've heard about the show and the way that people are talking about it. And that for me that's the celebration, right? Don't get me wrong, 8 Tony nominations, amazing and so proud, but at the same time, audiences are going to hopefully hear more about it and more people will see the show.
I think all that is true, and also just more work, which we love doing, to do our job. We also have a production in Chicago right now, and it's very rare to have a show that hasn't even gone through a Tony season already having a tour. But I think that speaks to the appetite for this show around all of North America. And again, just grateful.